Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to this English learning and life learning podcast. I am very happy that you are here with me today. My name is Aaron, and today we are going to talk about something very special, something that can really change your student life and help you become the best version of yourself. The topic of today's podcast is 7 Japanese secrets for students to become toppers. Now, before we begin, let me ask you something. Have you ever studied very hard for many hours, but when the exam day came, you forgot most of the things? Or maybe you made a timetable. You promised yourself that you would follow it every single day, but after only 2 or 3 days, you stopped following it. Or maybe you sat down to study, but after 10 minutes, you found yourself scrolling through your phone or checking social media for hours. If you said yes to any of these, then do not feel bad, because this happens to almost every student. The truth is, it is not your fault. You were never taught the correct way to study. Most students think that the harder you study, the better results you will get, but in reality, this is not true. Some students study 10 hours a day, but still do not get good marks. On the other hand, some students only study for 3 or 4 hours, and they top the class. Have you ever wondered why this happens? The reason is simple. The second group of students are using the correct study methods. They are not studying harder, they are studying smarter. And that is exactly what we are going to talk about today. I am going to share with you 7 powerful Japanese secrets that can completely change your way of studying. These secrets are not random tips. They are based on science and on Japanese methods that students in Japan have been using for years. Japanese students are known for their discipline, focus, and results. And today, we will learn how they do it. But before I tell you the secrets, I want you to imagine something. Imagine that you could study in half the time and remember twice as much. Imagine that you could sit down to study and focus instantly, without distractions. Imagine that you could walk into your exam hall full of confidence, remembering everything you studied, and then walk out knowing that you did your best. Does that sound good? Well, it is possible, and it will happen if you use these 7 Japanese secrets. So let us begin with the first secret. Secret number 1. Kaizen, the 1% rule. Kaizen is a Japanese word, and it means continuous improvement. It is a philosophy that the Japanese people use not only in studies, but also in work, business, and life. The idea is simple. Instead of trying to make big changes all at once, you focus on improving just 1% every single day. Now think about your studies. Most students try to do everything in one go. They say, "Today I will study for 10 hours, but after 1 or 2 days they get tired, lose motivation, and stop studying." This method never works. But Japanese students do something different. They focus on small daily improvements. They ask themselves, how can I become 1% better today? Maybe they study for 30 minutes with full focus instead of wasting time. Maybe they clean their desks so there are fewer distractions. Maybe they review just one topic they were weak in. And you know what happens. These small changes add up. 1% better every day may feel like nothing in the beginning. But after weeks and months, it becomes a huge improvement. It is like climbing a mountain step by step. At first, you do not feel the progress, but if you keep going, one day you reach the top, So how can you apply Kaizen in your life? Start small. Instead of saying, I will study 10 hours today, just say, I will study 30 minutes with deep focus. Once you succeed at 30 minutes, make it 40 minutes, then 50 minutes, slowly increasing your ability. Also, improve your environment. Each day, make your study place a little better. Maybe today you remove your phone. Tomorrow, you make sure the lighting is good. The next day, you organize your books. Slowly, your environment will become perfect. For focus, why does Kaizen work? Because your brain adapts better to small, consistent changes than to big, sudden changes. Big changes make you tired and stressed, but small changes make you strong without pressure. Over time, Kaizen can turn even an average student into a topper. Now, let us move to the second Japanese secret. Secret number 2, the Pomodoro technique, the focus system. Have you ever tried to study for hours without a break? After some time, your brain feels tired and you lose focus, right? Well, Japanese students avoid this problem by using something called the Pomodoro technique. The idea is simple. You study for 25 minutes with full focus, and then you take a 5-minute break. During the 25 minutes, you give your 100% attention. No phone, no social media, no distractions. Then, after 25 minutes, you stand up, stretch, maybe drink water, maybe walk around a little, and then, after 5 minutes, you start another 25-minute session. Now, after 4 sessions, which means around 2 hours, you take a longer break of 15 to 20 minutes. This way, your brain gets the rest it needs, but also stays sharp and focused for a long time. Why does this method work so well? Because the human brain can only focus deeply for a short period of time. If you try to force it for hours, you get tired, bored, and distracted. But if you give your brain short, focused bursts, it performs like a champion. This is why the Pomodoro technique is loved, not only by Japanese students, but also by successful people around the world. So if you want to try it, here's how. Take a timer, set it to 25 minutes, and study without looking at your phone or anything else. When the timer rings, stop and take a 5-minute break. Repeat this 4 times, and then enjoy a longer break. You will be amazed at how much you can learn in just 2 hours when you use this technique. Secret number 3, the Feynman technique. Learn faster and remember longer. One of the biggest mistakes most students make is that they just read and memorize their books. They think that if they read the chapter 5 or 6 times, they will remember it. But in truth, reading is not enough. You may feel confident while reading, but when the exam comes, you forget. Why does this happen? Because your brain never really understood the concept deeply. Japanese students use a very special method called the Fineman technique. It is simple but very powerful. The idea is this: if you really understand something, you should be able to explain it in very simple words, like teaching it to a child. Here's how to do it. First, pick a topic you want to study. Let's say it is photosynthesis in biology or fractions in mathematics. Read about it, then close the book and try to explain the concept in your own words without looking. Use simple and clear words. Now, if you find yourself stuck or confused, that means you did not understand the concept properly. So what do? You go back to the book, check the difficult part again, and then try once more to explain it simply. You keep doing this until you can explain the idea smoothly without using any difficult words. Why does this method work? Because teaching forces you to organize the knowledge in your brain. It makes you understand, not just memorize. And when you truly understand something, it becomes almost impossible to forget. This is why the Feynman technique is one of the most powerful study methods in the world. If you start using it, your learning speed will double, and your memory will become much stronger. Secret number 4. Active recall, the memory hack. Let me ask you something. How do most students study? They take the textbook. They highlight important lines. They read the notes again and again, and they feel good because they think they are learning. But when the exam comes, they cannot remember. Why? Because this method is passive learning. Reading again and again does not train your memory. Japanese students do something different. They use a method called active recall. Instead of just reading, they test themselves. For example, after reading one page, they close the book and try to recall what they just studied. Or they use flashcards, where one side has the question and the other side has the answer. Or before going to bed, they quickly test themselves on what they studied during the day. This may feel harder than just reading, but that is exactly why it works. Your brain is like a muscle. The more you practice recalling information, the stronger your memory becomes. Every time you pull information out of your brain, the memory becomes more solid. This is the opposite of highlighting or underlining, which only makes you feel busy but doesn't really help. So, if you want to remember for a long time, do not just read, test yourself. Use questions, flashcards, and self-quizzes. That is active recall, and it is one of the secrets that can completely change your exam performance. Secret number 5. The rule of 3. Avoid overloading your brain. Have you ever tried to study 5 or 6 subjects in one day? At the end, your brain feels full, tired, and you cannot remember most of it. This is because the brain has a limit. It cannot take too much heavy information in one day. Japanese students know this, so they follow something called the rule of 3. The rule of 3 means that they never try to learn more than 3 main topics in one day. For example, in the morning, they study the hardest subject, maybe mathematics, when the brain is fresh. In the afternoon, they study a medium difficulty subject, maybe science. And in the evening, they review something lighter, maybe English, or a subject they enjoy. This method works very well because it respects the natural energy levels of the brain. In the morning, your energy is high, so you do the hardest work. In the afternoon, your energy is a little lower, so you do medium work. And in the evening, you are tired, so you revise something simple. This way, you avoid stress, and your brain remembers more because it is not overloaded. Many students ignore this and try to push too much in one day, but in the end, they forget most of it. If you follow the rule of 3, you will study less, but remember more. Secret number 6. AI-powered studying using technology smartly. Japan is one of the most advanced countries in technology, and their students know how to use it smartly. While most students waste time on their phones with games, videos, or social media, Japanese students use AI tools to study better. For example, they use AI tutors like ChatGPT, Quora, or Google Bard to explain difficult topics in simple words. If they do not understand something from the textbook, They ask AI for a clear explanation. They also use speech-to-text apps, so instead of writing long notes by hand, they can just speak. And the app writes everything for them. They use special apps like Anki, which create flashcards using AI to practice and strengthen memory. Why does this help? Because AI removes wasted time. Instead of searching for hours in books, you can get the answer quickly. Instead of writing notes slowly, you can save time with speech-to-text. Instead of forgetting things, you can use AI flashcards to review and remember. But there is one thing to remember. AI is a tool, not a replacement. Do not depend only on it. Use it smartly to support your learning, not to replace your own effort. Secret number 7. Shuchu Ryoku, the art of extreme focus. Shuchu Ryoku is a Japanese phrase that means deep focus ability. Japanese students are trained to concentrate for long periods without distractions. They know that the human brain is most powerful when it is fully focused on one thing at a time. Unfortunately, most students today are easily distracted. You sit to study, but after 10 minutes, your phone buzzes with a notification and you check it. Then you see a new video, and suddenly 1 hour is gone. If you really want to become a topper, you must train your Shuchu Ryoku, your focus power. How can you do that? First, create a distraction-free environment. When you sit to study, put your phone away, maybe in another room. Block social media sites using apps like Forest or Cold Turkey. Make sure your study place is quiet. If you cannot find silence, use earplugs or listen to soft instrumental music. Second, practice meditation or simple breathing exercises before studying. Just close your eyes, take deep breaths, and calm your mind. This prepares your brain for focus. Third, train yourself slowly. At first, maybe you can focus only for 20 minutes. That is okay. With time, increase it to 30, then 40, then 1 hour. Just like an athlete builds stamina by training every day, you will build your focus power through practice. Why is focus so important? Because when you are fully focused, 1 hour of study can give you the results of 3 hours of distracted study. Most students waste time pretending to study while checking their phones. But if you build Shuchu Ryoku, you will study less time and still achieve more. This is a secret weapon of Japanese students, and now it can be your weapon too. Secret number 8. Nemawashi, the strategy of consistency. The last secret is called Nemawashi, which means preparing the ground before planting a tree. In studies, it means planning in advance so that you never feel lost or stressed. Japanese students are very organized. They do not just sit and say, "What should I study today?" They already know the plan. At the beginning of the week, they write down which topics they will cover. Every night before sleeping, they decide what they will study the next day. This preparation makes studying much easier. Imagine two students. One wakes up and says, "I will study today," but spends half an hour thinking about where to start. He feels confused and wastes time. The other student already knows. At 10 a.m., I will do chapter 5 of math. At 2 p.m., I will do a science experiment review. And at 6 p.m., I will revise English grammar. Which student do you think will succeed? Of course, the one with the plan. Nemo also means breaking big goals into small steps. Instead of saying, "I will finish the whole book in 1 week," you say, I will do 10 pages today. Instead of saying, I will prepare the whole syllabus, you say, I will finish 1 chapter today. This makes studying feel lighter, not heavy. And because you are consistent every day, the results keep growing. Why does Nemawashi work so well? Because it removes stress. You do not wake up worrying, what will I do today? You already know. Planning makes you calm, confident, and consistent. And consistency is the real secret behind success. Even if you are not the smartest student, if you study a little every day with consistency, you will become a topper. Now, my friends, you know the 7 Japanese secrets that can change your life. Kaizen, improve 1% every day. The Pomodoro technique, study in focused bursts. The Feynman technique, teach to understand deeply. Active recall, test yourself instead of just reading. The rule of 3, study only 3 main topics per day. AI-powered studying, use technology smartly. Shuchu Ryoku, train your focus power. Nemawashi, plan in advance and stay consistent. But I want to tell you one very important truth before we finish. Just knowing these secrets is not enough. Think about it. How many times have you learned a good study tip, felt excited, but then never used it? That is the mistake most students make. They listen, they get inspired, but they do not take action. The difference between average students and toppers is not intelligence. It is not talent. It is not luck. The real difference is action. Toppers apply what they learn. Average students only listen. So my challenge to you is this. Pick just one of these secrets and start using it today. Maybe you choose Kaizen and improve 1% each day. Maybe you choose active recall and start testing yourself. Maybe you choose Nemawashi and make a study plan for tomorrow. Whatever it is, just begin. Do not wait for the perfect time. Do not wait for motivation. Start small. Start today. Imagine this. A few months from now, you walk into your exam hall with full confidence. You remember everything you studied. You write your answers calmly and clearly. And when the results come, you are at the top of the class. How would that feel? That is the power of these Japanese secrets. So now, the choice is yours. Will you ignore this podcast and continue the old way, struggling and forgetting? Or will you take action, apply these secrets, and unlock your true potential? The Japanese study code is now in your hands. Use it wisely, and one day, you too will be a topper. Thank you, my friends, for listening to this podcast. I hope these ideas inspire you and guide you. Remember, success is not about studying harder. It is about studying smarter. And if you keep improving step by step, one day your hard work will shine. Stay motivated, stay disciplined, and keep moving forward. I will see you again in the next episode.